Welcome to the Bubblewrap podcast. I'm Ashley Walker from HSE Advice UK, and we're here to protect your business and make safety pop.
Okay, right. So we're here, episode 1.
Finally.
Oh my God. I mean, we've talked so much about this, and we're finally here. Yeah, it's nuts really, actually. How are you feeling? Oh, you're nervous. Actually, it's really funny because before this, we were like deep in conversation. I was thinking, God, we should be recording right now. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit of a warm-up.
Yeah.
So I used it as a warm-up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And
make notes.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah. Well, so Bubblewrap. It's been a long time coming. So for listeners out there, Bubblewrap is, we say it's here to protect your business. So where's it stemmed from? At first we were going to call it Safety Box. It was going to be a whole different thing. It was going to be just an app on its own with information, but it's developed a lot since then.
It's kind of spiraled a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I think obviously from all the networking we do, business courses that we've done, we've learnt a lot and what people need. But yeah, so Bubblewrap in itself is, of course, this podcast, information, videos for business owners, and an app, or maybe a website. People are trying to convince me it should be a website instead of an app, but I'm not convinced right now.
Well,
Linking apps in your pocket, it's there, it's ready, available.
I think the scope's still open on it. We can
maybe
we can expand and we can do whatever we want to do, can't we?
Software in the future. But yeah, so right, we're here. Thanks everyone for joining. So for anyone listening, we're the team from HSE Advice UK, based in Lancaster. We provide all sorts of health and safety information, policies, audits, inspections, different industries. So yeah, we're here. So Tiffany, Chris, myself, Georgia. So Georgia, you're here from the college, aren't you? T-level student. Yeah, and to say it's Georgia's 18th birthday today. Happy birthday. Here recording podcasts on your birthday. Yeah. Good way of getting out of college, hey, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So originally this stemmed from I started the business in 2021. Well, you all know, but the listeners obviously don't. Started the business in 2021, working full-time, working through COVID, nearly broke myself doing all that. But originally the business was supposed to be a one-man band on my own, self-employed sole trader. And now we're a team of 4 within 2 and a bit years, which is really good going. But as part of that, I did a lot of business courses. One amazing course I went on was the Boost Lancashire Flying Start programme. So you, Tiff, were with me when I started that programme, and it was amazing, and I don't think the business would be where it is now without that. But any business course I've done doesn't include anything about health and safety or legal responsibilities, which to me I do all day, every day, and I just assume people know that, and they don't.
No, I think it's a common thing within business is not knowing what you need to do, especially when it comes to health and safety and compliance.
And people just say, health and safety is dead boring. Do we have to do it?
They think it's the hard hat, high vis. Yeah. Can't do that.
No, there's so much more.
Yeah. Oh, there's tons in that go into it, and I think that's where we're going on to our topic, which is the competent person.
That's competent person, yeah. But yeah, so originally with the business courses, I thought, well, how can we fill that? Like, what is that gap? Do people know there's a gap? Because actually with the appointed competent person that we'll talk about today, people hear that statement, appointed competent person, and go, what is she talking about? Like, we were at a potential client this week, and I kept saying it over and over, and I think it was just...
He looked at you and he went, well, what does that mean?
Yeah, like, what are you saying to me? Because it's a bit of a complicated statement, appointed competent person. Generally, if you break it down, you know what that means. But,
I think it's linking it to health and safety, because a competent person, the competency in a person could be anything. It could be, filming, it could be music, it could be something, it could be absolutely anything. But when you say appointed competent person within the business world, it usually just means health and safety and compliance.
Yeah. And it can be so much more though, can't it? Health and safety compliance should be just the legal compliance. But actually I found speaking with businesses now, they want so much more than legal compliance, which is really good, because you could think about 10 years ago, I mean, and actually it still happens now in certain industries, people sometimes just don't give a crap, and they just go, well, I just need to get this product out, I just need to do the operations. Safety can just be a bolt-on, and actually it's the opposite. It should just be part and parcel of everyday operations. It's not, what's the safety topic should we talk about today? It's, okay, so right, we've done our risk assessments, this is how we work it. Guys, are you happy with that? Yes, no, change the risk assessments, and away we go. Because to have really good safety management brings in best operational practices, brings in profits, brings in happy people, safe people, and there's something that's missing between that click with some business owners, where they don't see it as a positive. They see it as, I'm paying this out, I'm paying that out. Oh, do we have to do that, compliance test each year on this bit of kit? Well, yeah, because it's a legal requirement. But also, do you really want to sever someone's hand off? No.
One of the things I've heard in the past is, do we need to do that?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, it's a bit concerning when someone has to ask, especially someone within business who's got authority and responsibility within that business, ask, do we need to do that?
Yeah. But the funny thing is they don't know that they need to do it.
Exactly.
Where did they find out that information?
For an onlooker would think, well, he's trying to skirt around something. But as you would say, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
So if you don't know that you need to do or have a risk assessment in place, or you need to have this and that and everything else in place from a health and safety standpoint or a compliance standpoint, you're doomed to fail.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And it's interesting because as part of developing the app, we did the research and development phase, didn't we, with Lancaster Uni? And the stats that came out of that was, because one question we had was, how do you find out your health and safety responsibilities, or do you know them? I think it was something like 66% didn't have a clue. No. And these are businesses that range between 10 and 20 people. So they're established businesses with a good amount of turnover, and they didn't know, or they felt they didn't know. They may well do and do it as part and parcel of their everyday work. But actually, quite a lot of people we go out to, we go and do the audit, and they don't know that they need certain risk assessments, or even risk assessments in general.
Yeah.
And some of them are quite high hazard places. It's interesting. I mean, do you get taught anything in school or college?
No, not really. We just so we've got a unit on it in T level at the moment.
Yeah.
But other than that, all the way through school, they don't really talk about the whole health and safety being a route or anything involved. It is the main part of a business and you need it, but they don't talk about that in school.
Yeah. And I mean, would you even think of health and safety being a career?
No.
No. I mean, most people fall into it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in this room got up one day and got, I want to be in health and safety.
I want to be in health and safety. No, because you're from security background.
Yeah, security into facilities, and then that just is a natural progression into health and safety.
You're more legal, solicitors. Obviously, you're brand new in your career. Because Tiffany and I went into the college to do a presentation to all the students. I was thinking, oh my gosh, what are they going to think? Yeah, I was so happy when John rang and he went, oh, George is interested. I was like, yes, because statistically, I think it was still around 16% of the workforce of women in safety and generally construction.
Oh wow,
that surprised you?
I didn't know that. Yeah,
you think it's higher?
Oh, I thought
all the stuff that people do to promote it.
Yeah, I thought it would have been not quite equal, not quite 50-50.
No. And
I certainly didn't think it would be more women than men in health and safety, but I thought it would be a lot more than 16%.
No.
I would have hazarded the guess around 30-35% maybe women.
No, it's a bit more aligned to the construction industry. I mean, construction's always has been, even with all the promotion, it's still really low numbers. But people don't see safety as a career in general, from your age. But I have absolutely loved my career, going about, travelling, meeting different people, and getting that sort of feel-good factor of knowing that you're improving their workplace. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say I've saved a life today, because you don't generally would know if you would have saved a life today, but just the stuff that we do and the clients that we work with, it's just It's a great career, you know. Well, I think it is personally.
Oh, I've loved every minute of swapping over. No 2 days are the same.
Yeah.
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 It's life interesting.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was just interesting. Like, as I grew up thinking, and throughout my career, you know, I've developed my career thinking, it was hard hat safety. You can't do that, stop that, you know. And all these rules and regulations that you just can't, you can't break. But then once I got into it, and I sort of fell into it, and it opened up this world of like, oh right, it's that. I can see why that's important now. Right, okay. And I think it struck a chord with me. That, you know, you should be protecting the people who work for you, and you should be able to go home in the same condition you arrived in.
Yeah, I know. But the problem is, I think, with safety and safety consultants, is there's that black cloud, that negative Nancy, you know, view of a health and safety consultant, which we're trying to break that down, because that is not who we are. People will probably say I'm a little bit weird and wonderful with the way I approach things, but it's got to be positive, because especially with those business owners that lack the interest, who generally don't give a whatever, we've got to approach them with, actually, no, we can take all that on for you, we will get it done, you will be compliant, don't worry about it. But then I'm more concerned with the business owners who do care, who do give a crap about their workforce, and actually you meet these people and they look like the weight of the world is on their shoulders, they're not sleeping at night because they're worried, but then we can come in and help them get compliant, and take that weight off the shoulders. And we've had some good feedback on the way we approach things, haven't we? Like, we've gone from starting the business with 3 clients to now over 30 clients all over the country. The good thing is about more and more are more local to us, which is amazing. And we're really, you know, trying to make an impact on people. But I think as part of this sort of Bubblewrap podcast, the app, the safety videos, you know, the information we're trying to give back to the local community, what our biggest sort of aim and objective is to look after the community safety-wise. We want to be that go-to person, and people know they can depend on us, and we can be flexible with these business owners. You know, because some companies in the past I've found, sort of maybe the largest safety consultancies, tie people in, what was it that Road House, was it a 7-year contract? Yeah. They were tied into a 7-year contract with a safety consultancy. And we had to go in because they had grown that much that they were at the ISO status level.
The package they had just wasn't suitable.
No, and they called to get their health and safety policy changed, to get it updated, and they refused. And they had copyright of their health and safety policy. I was like, what is going on? Like, how can you have a copyright on someone's health and safety policy which they've paid for?
So they ended up paying us as well as the other company to help them.
Which is, you know, a bit unethical, really. And it's just trying to get that mindset change, because they then had a view of that consultancy really negative, that they weren't being helpful, they weren't sort of assisting in their company scaling up and being adaptable to them. But I think that's, you know, really needed in the industry right now.
Yeah, I think like what you just said there, it kind of lends itself to something I wanted to talk about. Yeah. Which was how a competent person or appointed competent person could positively impact that businesses or an organisation's health and safety culture. Yeah. And as you mentioned earlier, you get some businesses that are like, just do it for us. They're not really interested in what health and safety is, or, you know, in managing it or making sure leave it to someone else, they will do it. So it kind of falls on you then to try and improve that culture and improve the attitudes towards. And
we like a challenge.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I think, you know, we've had some clients that are like that, you know. That are a bit sort of on the side of, okay, you just do it. Yeah. But they're kind of giving us free will and free rein to just go at it.
And it's funny though, because then, so one client we've been with maybe about 3 years was very much like that in the start. And we've done all this work, risk assessments, compliance, asset management. We've got the new software system. The staff are engaged. You actively go around the workplace and people are in PPE, which they weren't at first. And actually we'll send a monthly board report, and I'll get feedback on it now going, great job, or, oh, I've noticed this, can we do this? And I'm like, you're asking me to make an improvement. So that's, then business owners are now engaged in it. And it's funny how just little by little you can get those mindsets changed.
You chip away at that exterior, that sort of, that prevents them from being interested, and you can, once you eventually break through, I can, not that I've ever experienced it myself yet, I want to add, yet.
You'll get there.
I imagine it's good. That's a good feeling when you finally break through and you change someone's outlook on health and safety. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I hate being that negative Nancy of you're going to go to prison if you don't do this risk assessment, which of course is a likelihood. Yeah. Of that happening, but if you say that to a certain person in a business, they're just going to go, F off, can't be arsed with you. Yeah. And it's just approaching it in a different way. And I think, there's new consultancies out there which I've been following, which are amazing. Some are really making a really good impact, and it's really good to connect with them as well. Yeah. To try and change that message. Yeah. But little by little.
I think it's sometimes it's easier, and I know with health and safety and the culture of health and safety, it's top down. If you show interest at the top, you get interest from going down the chain. And from the workers and everyone else. But sometimes it can work the other way. If you can improve the morale and the positive culture within the workforce, it does trickle up. Yeah. The ladder, and once management and senior management of the business, the leaders start seeing that positive results coming from their workforce, they kind of a light bulb clicks and they go, okay.
You can see there's improvements.
What else can we do? And then that's when they come to
Well, that's us. The thing, it has a big impact on operations. Yes. If people are happy, safe, they're working correctly, improvements can be made in the operations, and then more profits come. It should do. That's how it should work, and we have seen that. It's as part of this podcast, the app, everything with Bubblewrap, is getting our message out there, and especially with the app coming, I really want it to impact sort of brand new business owners and entrepreneurs, because if we get them right at the start of them starting their business, then we can make an impact that way. So as they develop and grow, take staff on, have their operations larger and grow and scale, they know right from the start that's the best way of doing things, and they know their
it protects them. It protects them right from the start, because it means there's no scope for mistake. Something you only ever really learn, especially in health and safety, you only learn once something bad's happened.
Oh, I know,
If you can try and prevent that beforehand, then, it's a better world all round.
And I think with the Bubblewrap sort of campaign, I'll call it, we're not just going to be talking about safety, it's going to be all types of compliance, so environmental, quality. We'll have guests on the podcast which are financial, so it's all aspects of compliance for a business owner. They should get a good sort of round understanding of everything that they need to do. I will say we're not all going to be on every single podcast. We will have guests in. Generally I'll be the host of the podcast, but you never know, I might get Tiffany in to host one day.
Maybe.
She's the non-podcast person in the room. See, I love podcasts where I just try and convince you a little that this is a really good idea. But each their own, isn't it? Some people are into it, some people they aren't.
I've only recently got into them. And it's only certain type of podcasts, nothing like this.
No.
No, it's more like...
I like a crime podcast.
Well, that's, it was the ones I've been listening to are like strange, dark, mysterious stories. And any listeners know that strange, dark, and mysterious, they know what I'm on about. I'm not going to say it.
Right.
But and there's a couple like comedy podcasts as well. That I've been watching. But again... What
was the one we listened to on the way down to... was it Hastings? Oh, that journey to Hastings. What was it, 8 hours?
It was a long drive.
I sexted my boss.
Help, I sexted my boss.
Yes. Yeah. Have you listened to that?
No.
Oh, have you listened to that?
Through the long drive.
Oh, that was hilarious. Yeah. I'd highly recommend it. Do you listen to many?
No, not really.
No, are you more an audiobook or a music?
More of a music
person, yeah.
We were listening to one in the car a couple of days back, actually. It was called Shits and Giggles.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hilarious. Yeah, it's not for the the faint-hearted. Some of the topics they bring up, but it had us absolutely wetting ourselves. It was brilliant.
Yeah. See, I have to be in the mood to listen to a podcast. If I've had a long day at work and I just want to have a carpool karaoke on my own, I'll just put like my playlist on and just sing along on the way home just to decompress.
I was doing that in the office before you got in.
Oh yeah. Well, I wondered what that music was. I was like, is my phone going off? I can hear music, but it was him listening to like heavy metal music in the office. Yeah. Right. Well, thanks very much, everyone.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it's been a really good first session. And thanks, Georgia. Can't believe you're 18 today. God, I wish I was 18. I feel so old. I do. But we're going to have a party in the office lunchtime.
Drinks on you then.
Drinks on you. First drink. Yeah. Maybe the second podcast will be even better after a Prosecco. Won't it? Anyway, right. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed our episode, please subscribe to our channel. All links to our social media are in the description below, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment or message us. Bubblewrap, to protect your business.